just demonstrated is a complex of a snatch deadlift, the hang power snatch, and the overhead squat. So notice when I come down for my snatch deadlift, I just actually start with my toes where my toe knuckles are, right under the bar, and about under the hips, but I'm not as narrow as I would be for a deadlift. I'm somewhere just inside of squat stance. And then I'm just gonna sit in a relaxed seated position as I'm finding my grip. I want you to have the hook grip, and once you find your hook grip on the bar and you're mentally getting prepared for your lift, what I see sometimes people will roll the bar back and forth, and I want you to avoid that motion. That is really going to affect your performance and making sure that that bar path stays intact, that your muscles are torqued in the correct position from stability of everything happening in the foundation of your starting position. So then the next thing that I would do is make sure that I'm not loosey-goosey in my hips when I get started. So what I'm going to do is pull up my hips and then sink them back down, and I'm looking for your shoulders right over the bar. So a common fault is hips starting a little too high, shoulders in front of the bar. So the snatch deadlift is really hips at knee height and the shoulders are directly over the bar. Hips and shoulders rise. When the bar gets past the kneecap, then you're gonna push the hips in and stand up tall. That snatch deadlift looks a little different than your standard deadlift. Then we go into the hang power clean. Start with that bend of the knee. Hips go back, a lot like kettlebell swing, until the bar gets anywhere above the kneecap. Notice that my grip is still in a tight hook grip. My shoulders are squeezed back, my shoulder blades. I'm gonna bring the hips into the bar and then jump underneath it. It's really important that our bar path position is thinking about that your hips are pushing into the bar and your heels are still intact when we're in this position, right? And remember, from our barbell warm-up, this is our starting position for the warm-ups. So we should get really comfortable in this position. Above the knee is our starting place for the hang. Hips push through, extend up, and land with that hard foot landing underneath the bar. Keep the bar overhead with your arms very much shrugged up, belly sucked in tight. You want to widen your foot stance now, so that way when we descend, our hips can sink nice in between those heels as you stand up. And then you can drop the bar when you're finished with your lift.